Hey, welcome back to the channel. Glad you're here. Today we're checking out the RX 580 in 2026. Now this card was a legendary card when it comes to AMD. It has got 8 gigabytes of GDR5, a 256-bit memory bus. We already said 8 gigabytes of VRAM. It is PCI 3.0 by 16 and drew typically 185 watts. Now, this card is starting to show its age, and I'll show you why. We are going to check out 4 games and a 5th one. So Pragmata, Gray Zone, Battlefield 6, and Arc Raiders. But we're also going to check out Crimson Desert, and I'm going to show you why and why this card is showing its age. So let's get right into it and start with Crimson Desert. All right, so Crimson Desert fails to run, and when I look up the code, it's about supporting DirectX 12.1, which this card does not have, I guess, the scripts to run DirectX 12.1. So we're stuck not being able to play Crimson Desert. If you have this card or you intend on buying a card to play this game, I would not recommend the RX 580. So on to Pragmata, where we'll test that out. As you can see, we are playing Pragmata. I'm going to show you the settings real quick. Just go to System, Options, Graphics. We'll get rid of that for just a second. We're at 1080p, VSync off, basically everything off. No ray tracing, won't let us do any of that anyways. No upscaling. Image quality at 100%. Dynamic resolution off. Frame generation off. We put everything to off. Shadow cache, contact shadows off. Anti-aliasing off, volumetric lighting off, everything basically off. As low as we can get it right now. And we're looking at around 54 FPS. When we start moving around, it's a little bit less. But still playable, and it looks pretty good. All right. I don't know what's happening right now, but there we go. And not bad setup. We're hitting right at 60 FPS, still 100% playable. And it looks pretty good. Not bad for the RX 580 from 2017. So let's see if we can turn it up just a little bit, or actually, let's turn it to 1440p low everything and see what happens. If you have this card, you can absolutely play this game. Just turn it up. Did I pass it? There we go. And it's tanked it pretty good. 40 FPS. That frame time is a little bit higher. We're talking 20 to 25, maybe just a little bit higher. I don't know where I'm going, but hey, that's okay. Still playable at this. You could probably turn up the settings just a little bit. Yeah, we'll return to Shelter. Great card. You can play this all day long. You can probably turn some of those settings up just a little bit more, but I didn't want to push it. But I wanted to show you those you can achieve right at that 55 to 60 FPS mark. Now we're going to move on to Arc Raiders. All right, we are in Arc Raiders. We're checking it out on Raven Tides. We are currently sitting around 68 frames per second. That is on 1080p, no upscaling, and low settings. And it looks good. You can play this very well. Might be able to even turn it up to mediums, which we'll check in just a minute. But yeah, not bad at all. Now we're hitting 80. Pretty good. All right, let's go ahead and turn it up to medium. As soon as it does it, there we go. And still looking good on 1080p medium settings. Looks real good. Getting that right at 60 frames. 65, depending on where you're at. It's pretty good. Let's try high settings. And it did not like high settings at all. I don't know what just happened. Wow, that's really bad. Oh, there it goes, settled out. For some reason, the transition was not that great. Yeah, so 55, we'll reset those 1% lows. Right at 50 frames per second, not too bad. You could definitely play it like this. Let's do, so we're at high. See, we can upscale it. AMD FSR native. Did not help us at all. It actually made it worse. Wow, that's not great. So we can go to quality. That brings us close to that 60 FPS mark. Looks real good. Now we're going to try it at 1440p. All right, currently at 1440p in Arc Raiders. Let's give that a shot. 1440p. No upscaling. Everything is on low. And what do we got? 57 frames. 55. You can play it at this. We'll check out some upscaling right after this, but it looks pretty good. Did not make that at all. Frame time hanging down pretty low. 17 to 20-ish, 24-ish, depending on where you're at. But yeah, this is playable. Hitting 48 frames. Let's go ahead and try some frame generation, or not frame generation, excuse me, upscaling. A little balanced. Reset those 1% lows, and we're looking at 50, 60, 68. Sorry, 58. Not bad. You can play it at this all day long. Looks good. That frame time is sitting pretty low. Yeah, I like this. Let's see what happens when we get into a fight here. And it looked fine. It didn't dip at all. Everything's good. Let's try. Oh, I'm getting hit by an arc. Hold on. My bad, guys. Let's go in here and hide for just a second. Let me recharge my shields so we can finish testing. Okay, so let's go to medium settings and see what happens on AMD FSR. 48 frames. Not that great. You can still play it at this, but I'd stick with low at 1440p. So not bad. Still able to get into that 1440p range on the low settings with some help with some upscaling. So now we're on to Battlefield 6. All right, we are at 1080p low settings in Battlefield 6, and we're going to check those right now. So graphics, low preset, everything. 1080p right here. Everything else is just about off. Film grain off, stuff that no one likes. Motion blur off, you know, stuff like that. So we're sitting at 60, right at 60 frames per second. Dips a little bit below that, a couple frames below that every now and then, but right at that 60 frames. Oh, he got in there. We'll get him. Let's go, let's go. Right at 55 right now. Maybe we can get some upscaling done, and it will help it just a little bit to keep it above that 60 frames. And we're dead. That being said, let's go ahead and move into some upscaling techniques. See if it can help us right after we respawn. Okay, hide that for just a second. Options, and let's go to graphics. advanced. Just upscaling FSR and balanced. And we're looking really good at that. Oh, we got him. All right, right at that 65, dipped a little bit into that 60. Oh no, oh, we're dead. All right, we'll give it another shot real quick so you could get a little bit more action maybe to see it. Oh, there is a helicopter available. Let's give that a shot. There we go. Oh, and we're dead. All right. I haven't played that game in a while, but it is what it is. He's just hiding out in the back. Let's give it one more shot here. Okay. 70 right here, not bad. There we go, hide that. All right, not bad. Let's see if we can turn it up to medium settings real quick while we have FSR balanced on. Graphics. And right here, we'll go to medium settings. And not looking good. 31 even with FSR on. 42, yeah, not the greatest. So as long as you're sitting at low settings with some AMD FSR unbalanced, I think you'll be just fine. And you'll get that magical 60 frames per second. So now we're gonna move on to the last game, which is Gray Zone. All right, we're at Gray Zone, 1080p low settings with FSR on. So 1080p here, low everything, FSR on, and on balanced, and it's looking bad here. We're at that 27 FPS mark. It's not good, guys. This is where that 580 really struggles to play these newer titles. Maybe it's an optimization problem because, you know, we played Battlefield 6 at 60 FPS, Arc Raiders at 1440p low and 1080p medium with some upscaling. I think this game needs a little work. It is in pre-alpha, so maybe there's optimization coming along. But right now, you cannot play this game. Well, you can play the game, but it's going to be hard to see. And that's okay. Yeah, it's really hard to see. Did I get him? Nope. Let's see what we get. All right, so that was really hard to see. Oh boy. All right, we got him. Even look at this right here too. It's pretty bad right here. Look at the rain. Man, that's terrible. Who is shooting me? I don't know who's shooting me. There we go. Anyways, that's it for Gray Zone. Let's talk about the overall picture. A lot of games you can still play with these RX 580s. It's great, right? And Arc Raiders at 1080p medium, 1440p low with some upscaling. Pragmata at 60 FPS on low everything. Unfortunately, Crimson Desert, you just couldn't play because it doesn't support DirectX 12.1, based on the research I did anyways. So overall, still great card to be playing 1080p low if you're on a really tight budget, but it is really starting to show its age, especially coming from 2017. If If you like this video, click subscribe, hit the like button. Tell me if you got one of these cards and what your favorite game playing on it is. And until next time, I'm John. I'm out.